This lever here,
Yeah.
if you signal it up, push it up, which is one click. Okay, are we still clear to go? Just have a final check.
Yeah.
Yes, do the blind spot check again, make sure.
Yeah.
Now release the foot brake and just press the gas pedal down just the thickness of a pound coin. A little bit more, just a little bit more gas pedal, a little bit more gas. And steer to the centre of the road and turn the signal off, please. Steer to the centre of the road, steer to the left a bit. Turn the signal off, please. Which because you've done one click down. Good. Steer in a straight line. Steer straight. Try and steer a straight line to the centre. Steer a straight line. Now going to be stopping on the left. So check your mirror. This mirror.
Yeah.
Signal left, which is down. We're going to go past this turning on the left. Keep going. Checking our mirrors, check your door mirror. Now we're going to go to gently brake, gently, come off the brakes a little bit, steer into the left a bit more, to the spot where you said about. Check your mirrors again, gently press the brake pedal down and stop. Okay, put the gear stick back into drive, into park I should say. Good, turn the signal off. Foot off the brake marks. You did one about being in front, wasn't it? What steering on a straight line, were we, Chris?
No.
Right, what happened there? Why couldn't we steer on a straight line? What was wrong with that?
I've never done that.
Okay, you never steer. Okay, that's fine. Was it easy to turn the wheel or not easy?
It seemed to steer itself.
It did seem to steer itself, didn't it? But who was actually doing the steering?
Oh, was it you?
Well, I was helping you steer on a straight line, I must confess that. And the reason I was doing that was because of what reason?
I don't know.
Because I thought we were wandering a bit in our lane, and it looked at one point we were going to go over there into the other oncoming lane. So I steered you a bit to the left, and then I thought we were going to steer a little bit too close to the curb. It looked to me like we were going to go up the pavement there. So I got hold of the steering wheel and steered a bit to the right. Okay, because I thought we were going to go up there. But it wasn't bad actually. What I should have done is gone through the indicators first and showed you what the indicators were.
No, that was fine. Coming out of roll, that was fine. But don't say left or right.
Signal. I should say signal up, which
you
is
got
right.
it. Yeah.
Signal down, which is left.
What I did is genuinely what like 90% do. You'll go signal left. And go, hang on. No. Oh.
Yeah.
But then another 5 seconds has gone.
Yeah.
So it's just much easier to begin with. So signal down, and if they get confused, so there, Chris, I said signal left, and you didn't do it. Was there a reason? I couldn't remember which way it went.
Yeah.
Well, just think, Chris, with the wheel, if we're turning left, this hand goes down, so the signal goes down. If we're going right, the hand goes up, so the signal goes up.
And then I'm going to get there and they'll say, well, which hand was it was going down? Was it the left one or the right one?
Well, that's right. Whichever one is closest
so
to that.
The indicator, yeah. Yeah.
So
it's a signal down.
Yeah.
And I
so
do that.
If there's a fault, what's the analysis? What's the remedy? That's the key to it. But you've got to think, how many people have you seen ride a bike for the first time that can ride it in a straight line?
Yeah.
And it's the same in the car. If everyone could do it, or most people could do it, you wouldn't have all these instructors around here pulling up in front of us, doing moving off and stopping. They're doing it for a reason. So again, can I do it without you in the car? That's the key bit for the part 3. Yeah. So into drive, Chris, as you said, preparation, which we've done, observation, now movement. So we signal up, steer 2 o'clock, steer 10 o'clock, steer 12, cancel the signal. Now where does the curb meet the front of your car? Oh, just over in that corner there. So that's where we want to get it. Does your left leg feel in the centre of the lane? Well, actually, yes, that's a good position. Something that I can do without you in the car. That's what we've got to think. So, you know, they're not going to get in and just go, oh yeah, you mean like this? Most will, hopefully, if they've got kind of a sense of direction. But you have to base your teaching on worst case scenario, because you'll get pupils where you have to tell them everything, and I do mean everything.
Yes.
So how can, if I now get in with mum and dad, go, right, well, he said steer 2, steer 10, steer 12, so that curb is just in that corner.
But if you're in a different car,
yeah, well, that's where knowing your car
that's going to be a
comes in.
different place.
Exactly. But remember, the scenario is my dad's got this car, which is why I've come to you in the first place.
Right, yeah.
And then once they progress and they get an idea, you'd say to them, so, you know, your left leg being in the middle is kind of universal, so you can use that. Hi, my name's Chris from Driver Training Limited. We've been audit registered trainers since 2007, and in today's video we're going to show you how to commentary drive, or what is now referred to as fully guided instruction or fully guided tuition. And basically what that means is you just have to talk them through what you're going to do, because they've never done it before. So we always equate it to wiring a washing machine. If somebody says to you, right, we're going to wire a washing machine, you've got 3 wires, red, blue and yellow. Now the blue wire, that goes to a voltage modificator, which then splits off into 3 separate wires, which then goes to a diode switch, which then controls the temperature, and which is just rubbish, because I don't know how to wire a washing machine. But if somebody said to you, so what was the first sentence I said, you'd go, I don't know, because I don't know what you're on about. And that's what it's like for you and your students when they're learning to drive. You've been driving for 20, 30 odd years. They haven't. They have never done this in their life. So you could give them the best briefing in the world ever, and then the fault pretty much most trainees make is they go, well, go and do it then, I've explained it once. Well, that's like me saying to you, well, I've just explained how to wire a washing machine, go and do it. You go, but I don't know, I've never done it, I've had no practice with it, so how can I just do it? Now, if that electrician with the washing machine said, what I want you to do is get this wire here and put it here. Oh, okay. Now I want you to get this wire here, put it here. Oh, I can do that. After a few times of doing that, you'd be able to start to do the basics without any help. And that's exactly the same principle when you're teaching someone to learn to drive. So if they haven't done the subject before, fully guided or commentary driving means you're telling them what to do and you're telling them when to do it. But also the principle for fully guided or commentary drive still applies, even if their test standard still applies if they're a full license holder, because whatever faults that you see with their driving, again, you need to be able to tell them when they should be anticipating those things, how they should be doing it. So you have to fully commentary or fully guide them through it, or else the whole lesson just basically becomes, well, you did that wrong again. You didn't slow down quick enough. You didn't slow down when you should. We still came up to that too fast, Chris. They need somebody to tell them when and where so that they have an idea. And just think, the way to think of commentary or fully guided is, what would you be doing on your ADI Part 2? If you're thinking to yourself, wow, they're coming up really quick, I'd be slowing down by now, then so should they. That's what should be coming out in the lesson. Okay, Chris, now check that centre mirror, off the gas, start slowing down. They need to know, when would you be doing it? That's the whole idea of passing the Part 2. You should be able to pass that knowledge on now to your students. Well, by now, Chris, I'd be doing my mirrors and signal. That's what you should be telling me. By now, Chris, I'd be aware that this light has changed to red, so I'd be slowing down. Well, that's what you should be telling me to do. That's what fully guided or commentary driving is. So for today's video, what we're going to do is do a circuit here on our local training area. It's going to bring in a mixture of moving off, stopping. It's going to bring in left turns, left emerges, but we're going to use commentary on all of it. And the point is, as your student gets better, the point of being a good teacher means your pupil should be able to do it without you in the car. So right from lesson 1, we say to our students, you'll know how good you are by how quiet I am. Because by the time you're coming up to test standard, we should be able to drive for 40 minutes without me saying anything. One, because that's what you need to do on the test, because nobody's going to help you. But secondly, once you pass that test, there's going to be nobody on the passenger side to help you deal with things. So that's what we want. So the pupil then can measure their own progress and think, what does he still have to tell me about? Linked with that, of course, are the progress cards, because you need, or progress books, you need to be able to write down what they're doing wrong to be able to go and work on those same things and perfect them in the next lesson. So what we're going to do then is get ready to move away using the POM routine, and we're going to fully guide them through that. Okay, now when we do the POM routine, one of the things you find with big national schools for some reason, and I've got no idea why, they want you to do a 6-point check before moving off, which is left blind spot, left mirror. As you've seen in our other videos, as a driver, for all the years you've been driving, before you started your driving instructor training, when did you ever check your left blind spot? What's going to come from the left blind spot? Nothing. Because the blind spot is the area to the side of the car that isn't even covered in the mirror. So it's not like they're here with your car. The blind spot is over here. Why is that going to stop you moving off? On a busy high street, we deliberately pull up and say to people, oh yeah, there's someone in that blind spot, should I not drive off? Well, no, because otherwise you just physically wouldn't move off. So we don't teach left blind spot, left mirror before moving off. It's a waste of time and it has no relevance to what you're about to do. When you ask me to turn right, do you want me to check that left mirror? You'll probably say no, quite correctly. It's centre and right. It is not the left mirror. Why? Because whatever's on the left is not going to affect me moving off to the right. And whatever is in that mirror is behind me. So you can't say, but if there's something in that mirror, it might move in front of you. Well, it won't, because it's behind me. So if you want me to check what's in front of me, I can look through the windscreen. Other than that, I don't have to. And if you know any driving instructors, ask them, How many pupils have you had fail for not checking the left blind spot? I guarantee the answer is categorically 0. But how many pupils have you had fail for not checking the right blind spot? How many pupils have you had who have got driving faults, what used to be called minor faults, for not checking the right blind spot? No one has ever been failed for left blind spot and left mirror before moving off. And we've been doing this 20 years, never taught it for part 2, for part 3, for learners, for audit training. Not once have we been corrected by any of the examiners. So it's a fallacy. It's just a waste of time. But that's my little rant over. So to move off, we're going to check the centre mirror, the right mirror, right blind spot. We can look ahead through the windscreen, but generally we should be looking that way anyway. But we're going to do that before we move off. So, okay, Chris, if you want to prepare the car to move off. So remember, preparation means into gear. Now today we're in the automatic, so it's just into drive. But if you're doing it as commentary drive in a manual, be okay, clutch down into first gear, or palm out, across and up into first gear, clutch gently up till you feel the bite point, hold your foot still. Then we look ahead, we check the centre mirror, check the right mirror, check the right blind spot, handbrake off, keep your foot still, let the car start to roll, then gently clutch up. But because we're in the automatic, we're just going to go with the automatic for today. Okay, Chris, so we're ready to drive off. So foot on the brake, lift the button on the gear into drive, keep your foot on the brake, look ahead, check the centre mirror, check the right mirror, check over the right shoulder into the blind spot. There's nobody about, so we don't need to signal, or there are vehicles coming, so it's better to signal. So signal up, steer 2, steer 10, steer 12, cancel the signal. That puts us into a great position in our lane. So we're going to drive down. What we're going to do, Chris, is take the next road on the left. Now, out of roll, this is where MSPSL comes in, or MSPSGL. We'll do it as a manual. So check the centre mirror, check the left mirror, signal down, come off the gas, start gently braking so we're under 20, clutch down, into second gear, clutch up. Now as the curb comes into the bottom corner of the windscreen, half a turn to the left. As the curb comes back to the middle, half a turn to the right. Check the centre right mirror, we can see it's clear, a little bit of gas. Looking down the road, nobody's coming past, so we're okay to carry on. And what we're going to do, Chris, as we come down this road, we're going to take the next road on the left. Now you can see ahead the break in the curb, the gap, so just off the gas, check the centre mirror, check the left mirror, signal down, bring the speed down under 20, and remember at this point we're probably still in second, so that's fine. As the curb goes away, half a turn to the left. As the curb comes back round, half a turn to the right. Check the centre right mirror, and then we start to go. That's what fully guided is, because I've never done it before. So I need to be told, well, what do I do and when do I do it? See, it's still clear. At the roundabout, we're going to turn left. So check the centre mirror, off the gas. So mirrors, centre left, signal down, start gently braking, bring the speed under 20, clutch down into second gear, clutch up, quick glance to the right, nice and clear, so we just follow it round. Half a turn back to the right, and then we're going to pull up just after the junction when it's safe to. So check the centre mirror, left mirror, signal down, steer 10, steer 2, steer 12, gently brake to a stop. So keep your feet still, handbrake on, into neutral or park, rest your feet, cancel the signal and relax. That's it. At the end of the road, Chris, we're going to turn right. Now we're looking down. We can already see that it's a closed junction, so we know we're going to come up and stop at the end of it. So check the centre mirror off the gas. So mirrors, centre and right. Signal up. Position just by the centre white line. Just off the gas, slowing it down to let these people cross. And now we're going to come up to the end at the white line to stop. So gently braking, clutch down, gently brake to a stop. Handbrake on, into first gear, get the bite point, look right, look left, look right again. Now there's a couple of cars coming, but we've got a gap after this car. So keep your feet still, handbrake off, let it roll. Now one full turn to the right, one full turn to the left, and on the gas. We're going to take the second road on the right, Chris, where the learner car is. So check the centre mirror, right mirror, signal up, position by the centre white line, speed is good, into second gear, clutch up. We look ahead, it's nice and clear. Now one full turn to the right, one full turn to the left. Check the centre right mirror, build up the speed. As we come down, we're going to take the next road on the right. So off the gas, check the centre mirror and right mirror, signal up, position by the centre line, off the gas. So speed is good, into second gear, clutch up. We're looking ahead, it's clear, so we're waiting for that centre line to be level. Now one full turn to the right, one full turn to the left. Well done. And we're going to take the next road on the right. So mirrors, centre right, signal up, position by the centre line, speed down to about 10 miles an hour. Now clutch down, and we're going to come up and stop level with that centre white line of the road we're turning into. Stop there, get the bite point, we look, it's clear to keep the clutch still. As we move, one full turn to the right, one full turn to the left. Check the centre right mirror, clutch up, and a little bit of gas. Well done, Chris. You did. Perhaps my problem is I'm approaching too fast to turn left, emerge left. So now you could go, okay, Chris, so now check that centre mirror, off the gas. Bring the speed down under 20, so start gently braking. Okay, let's start our routine to turn left. Good. Oh, that's much better. Well done, Chris. We're focusing on the part that needs fixing, the speed. We don't have to then, once they get quite proficient, as it keeps saying, mirror signal position. They can do that. The bit they need our help on is figuring out when to slow down. So we hope this video on using commentary driving and doing things fully guided instruction has been a help for you. If it has, please leave us a comment, let us know if there's any subjects you'd like covered. Again, let us know, we'd be happy to cover them. My name's Chris from Driver Training Limited. Remember, teach well, drive safely, and we'll see you all again in our next video.